evening, guys and gals, and an introduction, please allow. I am the boss of the boards, the sultan of the stage, the purveyor of performance, the seller of song and dance. Yes, that MC most debonair and literaire extraordinaire, the one, the only, Mr. Barkley Bigelow. At least I should hope you all know that by now. This is, after all, our 5th annual Hullabaloo Revue. That's right. For 5 years now, Imagine Performing Arts, in association with yours truly, has been bringing you the best in local talent, in every form that it takes. This year is no exception, with many exciting acts arranged for your enjoyment. So, it is with pride that I officially commence our sensational, semi-decennial spectacular with the Great Karnak!
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is a very exciting night for me. I feel this audience is the best audience we could possibly have for this occasion. We are going to bring out a very famous person from the Far East. Now, he's a very famous mystic, very famous seer, a very famous sage. Matter of fact, he was head maitre d' at a Chuck E. Cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Karnak the Magnificent. Karnak, over here, Karnak. Oh.
Sim Saladin.
Are you okay, Great
Karnak is recovering.
I'm sorry I couldn't help, but even I know that I'm not allowed to touch even the body of the Great Karnak.
Karnak appreciates an assistant that knows his place. Karnak hopes this audience is old enough to get this routine.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have here in my hands envelopes that any 4-year-old can tell they are hermetically sealed. Now, these envelopes have been kept in a mayonnaise jar under Funk and Waggle's porch since noon today. No man knows what is in the contents of these envelopes. Yet, the Great Karnak is going to ascertain the answers without even seeing the questions. Isn't that correct?
No, that's impossible. No, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Karnak has sight.
I hold in my hand the first envelope.
E-I-E-I-O!
E-I-E-I-O. Funk and Waggle's porch. In a mayonnaise jar.
Are you getting paid by the word? E-I-E-I-O! What did old MacDonald say when he pinched his finger in the barn gate? Karnak feels a cold breeze coming across the desert. Coca-Cola, J. Edgar Hoover, and Carbon Motors. Let's go with the next envelope. No. Coca-Cola, J. Edgar Hoover, Carbon Motors. Name a pop, a cop, and a flop. Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Is there an echo in here? What does an alligator on public assistance get? Yeah, that was good. That was it. Right. That's it. Death Valley. Describe the parking lot at Vistion. May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your tent. A single woman. What was Taylor Swift between 3 and 5 p.m. on June 1st, 2018? Supervisor.
Supervisor.
That's what Karnak said. What does Clark Kent use to keep the sun out of his eyes? Karnak wonders if you can write better. Shareholder.
Shareholder.
What did Sonny Bono used to be? If you're laughing, you're at least 45. Been gay. Why doesn't Mrs. Affleck have any children? Well, you're just getting it now? King Tut, Ron White, and Anthony Weiner. Karnak wants you to stop writing your own jokes. King Tut, Ron White, Anthony Weiner. Name a mummy, a rummy, and a dummy. A husband with a vacuum cleaner, cold fusion, and affordable health care. Name 3 things that don't exist. Until he gets caught. How long will a politician lie to the public? We should have stopped 5 envelopes ago. Follow the yellow brick road.
Yellow brick road.
What are good directions to a urologist's office? Rose Bowl. What do you say when it's Rose's turn at the bowling alley? Super Bowl. What would you find in Clark Kent's bathroom?
I have in my hands the last envelope.
May your only son be locked in the steam room with the village people. Bambi, a putting green, and this entire sketch. Name a fawn, a lawn, and a yawn. Simsalabim.
Such supreme spectacle! And we begin as we mean to go on, for we've got so much more in store for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So please, help me in summoning to the stage our subsequent sensations, starting with someone else. Yes, may I help you?
Yes, I would like to sign up for the Hullabaloo. Is this a good time?
I'm afraid you're a little late, my lad. This is the Hullabaloo. And while your interest is flattering and your courage commendable, you simply cannot be part of a performance when a performance is in progress. It's impolite, it's improper, it's ill-advised, Well, it's simply not done.
Oh, please, Mr. Bigelow, I've worked very hard on my act. And I've wanted to be in the Hullabaloo since the very first one. I've been practicing for years now, and I finally think I'm ready.
Well, I can see you're a stubborn one, and since that is one of the hallmarks of a stage performer, I suppose I can hear you out. Please excuse the delay, dear audience. This won't take but a moment. Well, first, what is your name?
I am the chief of tricksters, the master of misdirection, an illusionist extraordinaire, the ineffable prestidigitator.
Well, that is quite the name for an act, although, if I may say so, aren't all the titles a little tacky?
Do you really think so?
Oh, yes, the audience loves humility. In any case, what would your actual appellation be?
Well, then that's the ineffable prestidigitator.
Your legal name is Ineffable Prestidigitator?
Yeah?
Did your parents have a particular career path in mind for you by chance?
I don't think so. Why?
Idle curiosity, I suppose. Well, you're a magician, eh? Well, let's see some magic.
I thought you'd never ask. Now, from my perfectly ordinary sleeves, I produce a bouquet of flowers. Blasted rabbit, every time.
Listen, lad, far be it from me to stifle a talent on the rise, but I'm afraid we simply don't have room in the show for you. Besides, we already have a magician on the roster, so... What, yes? What? Neville the knife juggler again? Tell him to take his blasted Adderall or stop using such shiny knives. Now what are we going to... Say, how do you feel about cutlery? Any, acnophobia?
Gesundheit.
That's just what I wanted to hear. Mr. Assistant, if you'll please escort this man backstage for rehearsal.
Wait, what exactly will I be doing?
Oh, don't worry, it's perfectly safe. Just remember to catch them on the flat parts. And thus begins one of the most important lessons in stage readiness. Be flexible. And now, ready for the stage. Flexible. Ready for the stage, we have Miss Sarah Toshlag with the Storybook Box.
My feet hit the sand. ever since that day. I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored, we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me, away from all of reality. Neverland is home to lost boys like me. Lost boys like me are free. Neverland is home to lost boys like me. Lost boys like me are free. Peter Pan, Tinker Bell, Wendy, darling, even Captain Hook, you are my perfect storybook. Neverland, I love you so. You are now my home, sweet home forever. A lost boy at last. Peter Pan, Tinker Bell, Wendy, darling, even Captain Hook, you are my perfect storybook. Neverland, I love you so. You are now my home, sweet home forever. A lost boy at last. And for always, I will stay. I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored, we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me, away from all of reality. Neverland is home to lost boys like me. Lost boys like me are free. Neverland is home to lost boys like me. Lost boys like me are free.
Simply lovely. And I am pleased to announce that Mr. Prestidigitator seems to be doing quite well with the knife act. He may need a few more minutes of practice, so while he does that, why don't you enjoy this performance by Miss Olivia Rickman.
This is Blank Space with Taylor Swift.
daydream. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, oh, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers that'll tell you I'm insane. You know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're reckless, oh, we'll take this way too far. And it'll leave you breathless, oh, with the nasty star. Got a long list of ex-lovers that'll tell you I'm insane. But I got a blank space, baby, not what's your name. Boys only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Boys only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn ya. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, oh, if I was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers that'll tell you I'm insane. You know I love the players, and you love the game. 'Cause you're young and we're reckless, oh, we'll take this way too far. It'll leave you breathless, oh, with the nasty star. Got a long list of ex-lovers that'll tell you I'm insane. But I got a blank space, baby, not write your name.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now let's keep this pace. No more interruptions.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Prestidigitator.
Well, I only have one small question.
Yes, what is it?
Well, I thought I made it clear that my talent resides in magic.
Come to the point, man.
Well, how am I supposed to perform magic with knives?
Cautiously, I assume.
Well, I'm concerned about making my fingers disappear. And maybe it's just too hard for me. Here, I've got a brand new trick and I just got a new rabbit. Watch me pull it out of my hat. Nothing up my sleeves. Presto! Well, that explains the 75% off. Here, let me look again. Maybe I can find the rest.
No. That's quite all right. Tell you what, why don't you keep practicing and we'll catch up later. In the meantime, dear audience, why don't you enjoy this next act? A terrific tap by Miss Elizabeth Waterman.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like
That was a terrific toe-tapping
Mr. Bigelow!
stunt.
How about I saw you in half?
No.
Oh, come on!
Moving right along. Yes, and now let's have a word from Miss Molly Manners Finishing School.
Hello there. You can call me Miss Molly Manners because that's my name. I'm here to ask you a few simple questions. Are your children too noisy, too messy, don't come when they are called? Do you constantly find them biting on the furniture when you are away? Well, if any of these sound familiar, I have the solution for you. I am the proprietor and chief instructor of the Miss Molly Manners Finishing School. I offer courses in the highest pedigree, regardless of the pedigree of the students. We have a strong emphasis in discipline. Stop it! Stop it! Now sit! Sit! No biscuit for you! See there? These are just some of the results you'll see after just one course at the Miss Molly Manners Finishing School, formerly known as the Miss Molly Manners Obedience School. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Your only prior experience is in the raising and training and grooming of dogs. Well, I'm so glad you asked about the grooming. Along with our educational courses, we offer on-site grooming to make sure their teeth are bright and their coat is bright and shiny as well, so they can go forward in any kind of dog show beauty pageant, or any other kind of contest you'd like to put your little babies into. And now, I know you're thinking, hold the phone. Are you even qualified to look after my children? Well, I think the real question is, are you? Really? Are you? I bet you don't even have those little covers over the electrical sockets, do you? No, do you? And I know you're thinking, how does she always know what I'm thinking? Well, I'm Miss Molly Manners. I know all that goes on in the sweet little naughty hearts of all children. That's right. That's right. I know all about the incident. So, if you don't want anyone else to find out about it, I suggest you enroll your children in the Miss Molly Manners Finishing School. What is it? Will you stop interrupting me?
Oh yeah? How's this for interrupting?
Stop it! Oh, you are no different than Puppy. Now stop!
Wrong, we've got thumbs.
Oh, what is that you want?
Fresh bedding in the kennels.
And belly scratches every day.
Never! You are my charges, and you will
Lovely, lovely.
Mr. Bigelow! Mr. Bigelow! How about this one? A classic card trick. Pick a card, any card. Now, place your card back in the deck. Is this your card?
I'm afraid not.
Well, of course it isn't, because this must be your card.
Oh, no, that's still not it.
Oh, really? Well, by any chance, was your card the Jack of Clubs?
Why, yes it was. How did you know that?
Well, that's because that's the only card I couldn't find. I'm sorry, Mr. Bigelow, none of my tricks are working out.
That's all right, lad. Maybe your talent simply lies elsewhere. Do you perhaps sing?
Not since my neighbor asked me to quit.
Bah, why should you care what they think?
She's deaf.
I see. Well, if you're convinced magic is the way to go, why don't you have a look in the basement? We've got all kinds of leftover props down there. Maybe you can find something you can work with.
Gosh, you'd really let me do that?
Of course, my lad. Now, it's a bit of a mess, but help yourself.
Thanks, Mr. Bigelow. I'll get right on it.
Well, we'll see if that sorts them out. In the meantime, dear audience, please, thank you, Mr. Assistant, please welcome back the return of the Rickman.
Cause you're on your own in the real world. Baby, now you're one of us. Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun? Living in the real world. Ain't it good? Ain't it good? Being all alone. Ain't it fun?
There we go. Dazzling, delightful, divine. Thank you very much. Now, all sirs and dames, sit up and take notice. What is it, Mr. Assistant? What do you mean he's disappeared? And no one saw him leave? Huh, that's strange. Where could he have gone to? Quiet, Mr. Assistant. Do you hear that? Bah, did you forget to leave the ghost light on again? You should know better than to anger the spirits of past performers. They tend to crave attention.
Mr. Bigelow?
Ye gods! What do you want with me, foul spirit?
What? It's me, F.
Good heavens! I never intended for that basement to be your doom!
What? No! I came across his old disappearing cabinet. I stepped in, and the next thing I knew, I was here. Well, wherever this is.
Rusty's old disappearing cabinet! I thought we Craigslisted that thing. Well, now stay calm. Can you say anything? Do you know where you are?
It's dark and cramped and kind of loud. I heard a lot of thumping around earlier.
A lot of... Say, what do you hear now?
A sort of tapping. Why? Hey, I see something now. A bunch of feet. That's weird.
Come out of there this instant.
I would, but I think I'm stuck. Hey, there's something down here. The Jack of Clubs. I knew I'd find it eventually.
See, your magic's improving already. Well, just hang on. We'll get you out of there. Well, while we endeavor to free him, why don't you enjoy this next act by Mrs. Carnahan? I thought we agreed not to have any former teachers on the show, Mr. Assistant. Well, I'm sure that whatever tales she tells will certainly not involve any high school hijinks by a certain Mr. Assistant and handsome MC. Mrs. Carnahan, everyone!
I'm Margaret Carnahan, and I teach math at Hamptonville High School. You know, I just got off the phone with my son, Derek. He lives out in Arizona with his wife and my little granddaughter, and they're coming next week for a visit. He's hoping to get together with some of his old high school buddies, and it brought back memories. Like Barkley. I've known Barkley for years. He and Mr. Assistant and my Derek were all the same age. Bob and I used to sit together and sit with his parents at the high school soccer games, watching them run up and down the fields and grow up so fast. I remember when they used to descend on the house and go into the kitchen and eat everything that was available, and then jump on their bikes and go down the road and shoot hoops all afternoon. I made sure to keep the chips and salsa handy. And they had a song. We will rock you. Oh, it went on and on and on. It was their anthem. It was their anthem. Well, now, Barkley's real name, I don't think he would mind if I told you, is John Solomon Stevens. He goes by Solly. Now, his dad's a Methodist minister, and he told me one time he'd always kind of hoped that Solly would follow in his footsteps. But one year at the Christmas gag gift exchange, somebody gave him a Mr. Microphone, and a star was born. In fact, Pastor said that he was so enthusiastic about his theater work that Pastor was starting to get a little concerned. But one day, Solly made kind of an offhand comment about how Pastor's sermons could be a little more effective, and he tried it, and the congregation stayed awake for the whole sermon. He said, well, maybe there is something to this theater stuff after all. And when Solly was elected senior class president, they were so proud. Now, Solly's folks are pretty traditional. Mr. Assistant's folks, on the other hand, were free spirits. Mac and Nora Boyd were deeply into the music of a late 80s band. And when the baby was born, somebody jokingly said, you know, you should name him after the band. And they went with it. Mr. Assistant's real name is Mr. Boyd. Now, he didn't follow too closely in his parents' footsteps either. Mac and Nora are never happier than when they're camping and hiking, but Mr. was seriously into computers. In fact, he made a sizable chunk of his college fund producing a podcast in which he helped parents and grandparents learn how to use their iPads and their tablets back when those things were new. I know I watched it a few times. So their senior year, Solly and Mr. and my Derek are all in my AP calculus class. There were a lot of late night study sessions at the dining room table. I kept the chips and salsa handy. But I did notice that after spring break, the intensity was gone. I'd go into the kitchen to get a cup of herbal tea, and they'd get real quiet. I'd say, do you need help with anything? We've got that AP test coming up. They said, no, we're fine. I'd walk out, they'd turn up the music. We will rock you. I thought they were talking about their girlfriends. Never occurred to me that they might be planning the senior prank. The senior prank has a long tradition at Hamptonville High School. Every year, Mr. Seymour says there will be dire consequences to anyone who plans a senior prank. And every year, somebody tries. It's kind of become a running battle. In the last 10 years, it's been administration 7, students 3. So even though the odds are against them, they still try. You can't blame them for that. Tuesday morning, the last week of school, someone released 3 skunks on the second floor of Hamptonville High School. A girl saw them, she screamed, everyone ran to the classroom, the doors were shut, and we were on lockdown. Mr. Seymour called an animal removal expert, Elena Trevino. She showed up in this thing that kind of looked like a beekeeper's suit, had a hood on it, had a long pole with sort of a butterfly net thing on the end. She walked in and said, where are they? Took her about 25 minutes to find the first one. 5 minutes later, she had the second one. By the time she caught the third one, put them in their cages, went down to the office, she said, Mr. Seymour, I have good news and bad news. The good news These skunks have had their scent glands removed, and they're pretty tame. I bet they're somebody's pet. Now the bad news. You see the tag on the collar of this skunk? It says 2. The tag on the collar of this skunk, it says 1. And the tag on the collar of this skunk says 4. How many skunks did you say there were? Well, we remained on lockdown for a while longer as Elena made another sweep of the school, but Mr. Seymour had a thought. He turned to Mrs. Griffin, our office secretary, and said, "Would you please call all the veterinarians in Hamptonville High School, or in Hamptonville, and find out if any of them have clients who own pets? And if they do, are any of them high school students?" And so it was that I was summoned to the principal's office, there to meet my Derek, who claimed that he had acted alone and he wanted full credit for the senior prank. Well, Mr. Seymour had a few words for him about the consequences of his actions. He got 3 days detention, because we only had 3 days of school left. And he had to pay for the animal removal expert. But Mr. Seymour was actually happy. Senior prank was over. We could get down to the business of final exams and graduation. Graduation was always so nice. The yearbook staff puts up a big screen and they show pictures of the students. So after the senior choir sings, after the speech is about how graduation is not an ending, but it's a commencement, a beginning, as each senior walks up to receive their diploma, you see pictures of that particular student on the screen. It's a lovely touch. It's a very nice tradition. Bob and I sat in the stands next to Pastor and Joan and next to Mac and Nora. We were so proud. And then came the moment that Solly was waiting for, because as senior class president, it was his job to step up at the end and announce the moving of the tassels. So he stood up. The entire senior class stood up. He walked to the podium and said the time-honored words, "Members of the senior class, this is the moment we've waited for." And then he reached into his pocket, pulled out a popper, pulled a string, and confetti flew up in the air, and in unison, the senior class suddenly released streamers and glitter and a couple of rolls of toilet paper, and somebody let loose a pigeon. Mr. hit a remote, the screen came to life, and suddenly there it was again. We will rock you. The parents joined in. We will rock you. Mr. Seymour was mad. He walked up, he took a deep breath, but by this time the whole senior class and the parents were singing. And he sat back down. He knew he'd been licked. To this day, it is regarded as the finest senior prank ever. And I'm sure that next week, when the guys get together, I'm going to hear all about it. I'll keep the chips and salsa handy, and I think I'll add a bowl of guac. Thank you.
Well, an update on current events. It seems that Mr. Prestidigitator is embedded, immovable, immobile. He's just really stuck. So while we continue our efforts to free him, why don't you all go and enjoy intermission? We'll be back soon, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of Barkley Bigelow's Hullabaloo Revue. Welcome back, my fine and faithful friends. Please rest assured that we have freed Mr. Prestidigitator from his conjurer's cabinet captivity. And there should be no more interruptions or distractions from here on out. See? I told you. Now please give a warm welcome for our next act, Mr. Frank Markham.
Most singer-songwriters write about the things that they know best, their personal experiences. I'm going to do a song for you tonight by John Mellencamp, and he was inspired to write this song by a conversation he had with his 100-year-old grandmother. On this particular occasion, John said he was sitting on the edge of his grandmother's bed, and she was talking about when she was a young girl growing up during the Depression. And she didn't call John John, she called him Buddy. She said, "Buddy, I know you have to leave, but before you go, I'd like to say a prayer." So John said, close to the end of the prayer, her voice got really loud, and she said, "And Lord, Buddy and I are ready to come home." And John said, "Grandma, Buddy's not ready to come home yet. Buddy has got some more sinning he's got to do." And she gave him a disappointed look, and she said, "Buddy, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to find out sooner than what you may think that life is short, even in the longest days." And from that conversation, John wrote this song, Longest Days. Hope you like it. Seems like once upon a time ago, I was where I was supposed to be. My vision was true and my heart was too, and there was no end to what I could dream. Walk like a hero into the setting sun. Everyone call out my name, but death to me was a mystery, 'cause I was too busy raising a king. 'Cause nothing lasts forever, and your best efforts don't always pay. One day you'll get sick and you won't get better. That's when life is short, even in the longest days. So you pretend not to notice that everything has changed. The way you look and the friends you once had, but you keep on acting the same. Deep down in your soul, you know you ain't got no flame. And who knows which way to go? Life is short, even in the longest days. All I have here in the rearview mirror, reflections of where I've been. You tell yourself you'll be back on top again, but you know there's nothing waiting for you anyway. 'Cause nothing lasts forever, and your best efforts don't always pay. One day you'll get sick and you won't get better. That's when life is short, even in the longest days. Life can be short, even in the longest days. I have a special guest to help me out on this next song. It's my granddaughter, Miss Chloe Akers. This This song came out in 1983, and I think it's as relevant today as it was back then. It's called Little Good News. I rolled out this morning, the kids had the morning news show on. Brian Gumbel was talking about the fighting in Lebanon. And some senator was squawking about the bad economy. It's gonna get worse, you see. Need a change of policy.
There's a local paper rolled up in a rubber band. One more school shooting is more than I can stand. Just one side like to see the headlines say, not much to bring today. Ain't got nothing bad to say.
Nobody robbed the liquor store on the lower side of town. Nobody OD'd, nobody burned a single building down. And nobody fired a shot in anger, nobody had to die in vain. We sure could use a little good news today. I'll come home this evening, I bet the news will be the same. Somebody takes a hostage, somebody steals a plane. How I want to hear the anchor man talk about the county fair, and how we cleaned up the air, and everybody learned to care. Oh, tell me.
Nobody was assassinated in the whole Bible today. In the streets of Ireland, all the children had to do was play. And everybody loves everybody in the good old USA. We sure could use a little good news today.
'Cause nobody robbed the liquor store on the lower side of town. Nobody OD'd, nobody burned a single building down. And nobody fired a shot in anger, nobody had to die in vain. We sure could use a little good news today. We sure could use a little good news today.
Wonderful, wonderful. Nothing at all. And now for our next act. Yes, we have returning fan favorites, the Arthritics. Please keep in mind they're a few members short due to a knee replacement, hip replacement, and general crotchetiness. But they soldier on and will be performing the Egyptian sand dance. something's not right. Mr. Assistant! Something's wrong. I've nearly gotten through 3 whole introductions without chaos or calamity. It's impossible. It's improbable. It's inconceivable. It's just plain weird. Is that prestidigitator fellow still backstage? Well, I must admit, I do feel bad about not having a spot for him here in the show. After all, no one should be kept from the stage who wants to be there. Well, as a matter of principle, I mean, it's definitely best if they're a part of the show that's going on, of course, but yes, I think I will go and talk to him. You introduce the next act, I'll be back after.
Welcome everybody to Hullabaloo Jim's Roadkill Cooking Show. You're all in for a real treat tonight as we are fixing up some of the best slap your mama roadkill that you ever wrapped your rosy lips around. Now, I know you all are getting hungry, so let's get to cooking. So, as you know, every roadkill show needs an assistant. So after thousands of interviews and hundreds of online requests, we have found the roadkill queen herself. Please welcome, if you please, the burning botulism bigot, the beautiful blushing brunette, the brilliant buxom bombshell, all the way from the Bellevue of Biloxi, Betty Bovine. You're not the burning botulism bigot, the beautiful blushing brunette, the brilliant buxom bombshell from the Bellevue of Biloxi. You're cheesy charcoal Charlie from Crooked County. Where is the burning botulism bigot, the beautiful blushing brunette, the brilliant buxom bombshell from the Bellevue of Biloxi?
Betty got busted.
Busted for what?
The beautiful, bashful Betty Bovine got busted for beating her beloved brother Buford Bovine in the backyard with a baseball bat.
Well, I'll be. Listen, Charlie, you're going to have to do, so go get me a pot, you understand? Go get me a pot. These people are getting hungry.
Okay,
Go
I
get
got
me
you.
a pot. While he's gone, here's a couple of roadkill ideas. Roadkill minion, they make great despicable stew. You got my pot, Charlie?
Yes.
Charlie, I want a cooking pot. You understand? A cooking pot.
Cooking pot.
Go get me a cooking pot.
Cooking pot.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Here's another roadkill idea as he's gone. Roadkill sheep. They're not bad, if you know what I mean. You got a cooking pot, Charlie? Got me a cooking pot?
Yes, I did.
Charlie, I want a real pot.
A real pot.
Please, go get me a real
pot. Okay.
A real pot, Charlie.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay. While he's gone, here's another roadkill idea. Roadkill politician pot roast. But you can only find one on the crooked road. Charlie, did you have to get one infested with snakes? Charlie, give me a hand.
What's wrong with the ones you got?
No, Charlie. Give me a hand, Charlie. No, Charlie. Give me a real hand. You understand?
A real hand.
A real hand.
A real hand.
Oh. Well, Charlie, come over here and help me out. Chuck up this here stinky skunk so we can get going with this stinky skunk scoop.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Give me it. Okay.
Oh. This finger will make it finger looking good.
What's this for, Charlie?
This boot will give it more kick.
And there you have it. Hobo Jim and Cheesy Charlie's Hobo Stew. Now make sure that you pick me up a bowl on the way out. Now I know y'all want to get home and get started on your own roadkill. So we have made it easy for you. We have put together one-of-a-kind roadkill recovery kit. So, for 2 easy payments, $29.99. That equals $159.98. Plus a small shipping fee of $199.99. You can have your very own roadkill recovery kit. Now in this recovery kit, you'll get a varmint bucket, a varmint broom, a varmint recovery pan, some varmint goggles, and of course, a varmint mask. And we're also going to throw in a bark bag. Burp. But wait a minute. If you order one tonight, we'll throw in an extra barf bag. Burp, burp. So you'll get your recovery kit. 2 barf bags. Burp, burp. But to save you, still not interested? We're going to throw in Charlie's authentic roadkill cooking book. Now in this cooking book, you will find some of our favorites. Raccoon roast, possum pot pie, and my favorite, smashed deer delight. So you get your roadkill recovery kit, 2 bark bags, authentic roadkill recipe book. It says for our cash paying customers, only for tonight, we're going to throw in this industrial size Alka-Seltzer. So you're going to get one-of-a-kind roadkill recovery kit, 2 bark bags, your roadkill recipe book. Now, for those that don't have cash, don't worry, we take credit cards. Just leave it your credit card number, bank account number, your mom's name, your shoe size, blood type, pet's name, and our Russian agents will take care of the rest. So remember, if it looks bad
and tastes even worse, it's perfect.
Oh no, please don't try to apologize. I know you don't want me here. And you already say you have a magician on the roster. None of my tricks are working out. Shoot, just getting trapped in a magician's box gets me under the stage. Why should I stick around if I'm not going to be of any use?
Well, because I'm trying to give you a spot on the stage, you confounded conjurer.
What?
The whole point of the Hullabaloo is to showcase local talent. Everyone should be given a shot to be up here, even magicians with temperamental rabbits.
But I'm telling you, I'm no good.
Yet.
What?
You're not any good yet. You just need more practice. Look, if you love it, you can get better at it. And if it makes you happy doing it, well, it really doesn't matter how other people see it. That's the beauty of performance. It's as much for yourself as for the audience. There will always be people who tell you to give it up, say you're no good, possibly even yourself. But if it brings you joy to do magic, then there's nothing that anyone can say or do to make you give it up.
Then can I do some?
Why not? You're a performer, you're on the stage, just do what comes naturally. Of course you are. What else would you be?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bigelow. I'm gonna work very hard on my act, and maybe I'll see you next year.
I'll be waiting. But now, back to matters at hand, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome our final act of the evening, Magic Man Rusty Ammerman.
This is where you applaud. Wow, look at the crowd we have. Is everybody enjoying the show so far? Well, that is about to come to a screeching halt, I promise. In case you didn't hear in the introduction, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I am Rusty Ammerman. Thanks, Mom. How many people really enjoy magic? Raise your hand to get a feel for this. Good? No. Raise your hand, don't clap, pay attention. How many people do not like magic? Raise your hand. Special trick planned for you. I know where you are now, thanks. How many people can't stand it when entertainers keep asking you to raise your hand? Right? How many of you have never raised your hand before? Good, you scratched over the bucket list. And finally, how many of you just wish I would shut up and get on with the magic? Me too. A friend of mine just recently got back from a trip all around the world. While he was gone, I made him promise to bring me some kind of souvenir. I collect things from all over. This last time he went out, he stopped in the country of China, so I made him a deal. So to tell you what, John, I will pick you up at the airport if you bring me something from China. Something cool from China. Something elegant from China. Something Chinese. So I drove over to the Indianapolis airport. He was right on time. He didn't forget about me. Oh, not my friends. He said he was going to bring me back a present. That's exactly what he did, because he got off the plane and he handed me this. I know. You can imagine the first thing I said when I saw this was, ooh. Gee, thanks, John. I said with a smile, boy, is this great. It's lovely. Just what I've always wanted. What is it? Well, he said he didn't know, but they were selling them to tourists, and they were selling them in magic shops. I don't typically get my tricks in magic shops anymore, but I do want to be rude, so I went home and I opened up the instructions, and they were written in, of course. I'm glad you're paying attention. Chinese, that's right. Here's what I do know so far. It's a pole that has 4 little fuzzies, a white ball, a red ball, a yellow ball, and a blue ball. And there's a very long string on this end, and a very short string on this end. I figured that all by myself, too. My mommy says I'm special. And the one thing I noticed is kind of strange, though, and that's if you pull on the yellow ball, you'll find the red ball becomes the high ball, and the yellow ball becomes the low ball. And likewise, if you pull on the red ball, you'll find the yellow ball. It becomes the high ball, and the red ball becomes the low ball, but it doesn't matter. We still have a long string here, and a short string here. Thank you very much. There's something else I noticed that's kind of strange, and that's if you pull on the blue ball, then you find the red ball becomes the high ball, and the yellow ball becomes the low ball. And likewise, if you pull on the white ball, you'll find the yellow ball. It becomes the high ball, and the red ball becomes the low ball, but it doesn't matter. We still have a long string here, and a short string here. No. I don't need your pity. I couldn't help but notice there's not a single person in this room that is even the slightest bit impressed with my Chinese pom-pom thing. If you didn't get it, you see the red ball's connected to the blue ball's connected to the yellow ball's connected to the white ball, and the white ball, of course, in turn is connected to the... Am I going too fast for anyone? With a long string here and a short string over here. But you're probably sitting there right now saying to yourself, you're probably saying, gee, Rusty, that's amazing, right? She is. You may be wondering if it's possible to have a long string on both ends, and I'm sorry to tell you, it can't be done. See, it's a joke. I said that it couldn't be done, and then I did. So it's like I said one thing, and we'll work on this later. You may be also wondering, what's inside this tube to make this phenomenon happen? I would like to demonstrate for all of you, there is nothing inside. Ooh, goosebumps, huh? You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't imagine why they were selling these in Chinese magic shops. It makes no sense at all. You've got a red ball connected to a blue ball, connected to a yellow ball, connected to a white ball, connected to a... It's good. You got it the second with a long string here and a short string here. I don't know. The only thing we could figure is that they're trying to take us crazy Americans and send us around the bend and up the pole, and I'll take some pity now. Thank you very much. All right. Here's what I think is going to happen. For this next bit of magic, I think to do this correctly, it's time to get some of you involved. I need to borrow from the audience a young lady. Who would like to come up here and give us a hand? Let's see. Someone who wants to volunteer. They have to be excellent at following directions, and they have to raise their phone. Come on, let's see. That's kind of dangerous, isn't it? How about right here? You want to? No, you. Give her a big round of applause as she makes her way up here. Come on up. Please give her a very big, what's your snake? Big round of applause as she makes her way up to the stage. Be careful, don't trip and fall. Be very good. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, if you slipped and fall, you win a brand new building, so we don't want that to happen. Tell everybody your name. Maggie. That would be, I could say that we don't know each other, but that's not true. We do. We've gone back to St. Gabriel's a long, long time, but is it fair to say you had no idea you were going to come up here right now? You have no idea what's about to happen. You kind of wish you weren't here right now, all right? It's good, all right. Maybe some of you know this, maybe you don't. I grew up just 3 blocks north of here, Beeson's Edition on Kirshner Street. And I didn't think I was always going to grow up to be a magician. This is true. When I was little, I wanted to be in show business, but I thought I was going to be a ventriloquist. For some of you who don't know, a ventriloquist has the doll. They throw their voice and they do bits. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was at my mom's house in my old room. I dug through this old closet thing I had. I don't even know what it was. It was a toy box that went awry. And I found a friend of mine from way back when, and I brought him with me. Would you like to meet him? He is very special. He's a very big part of my childhood. He was there when I needed him most. Believe me, he and I have been through some very rough times together. So please give a warm welcome to my friend and yours, Mr. Timmy Toilet Paper. We were poor. Beeson's Edition. Did you hear that part? Okay. Timmy, for this next bit of magic, Maggie and I are going to rip you into 1,000 pieces and flush you down the commode. What do you think about that? Oh, he's scared. You have no idea how many people are going to be making Timmy toilet paper tonight when they get home. Sharpie's going. Maggie, here is your challenge. Hang on to Timmy. Make sure you keep his face toward the audience. And I would like you to remove 2 strips of toilet paper. Each strip has to contain 8 squares. 2 strips, each strip containing 8 squares. Oh, look, she's counting. Oh, look, Timmy's getting dizzy. Oh! Now, okay, hang on a second. Let's make sure you do this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're an artist. Just go with it. It's okay. Let's try to make this one strip containing 8 squares. Go ahead. Try to do it. Just kind of roll and roll. We're going to see if you can do this time. Maybe you want to count this, though. But she's an artist. She's like, whatever. It looks good. Let it go. Very good. She's going to make. Oh, very good. And I can tell by your technique you've had a lot of experience handling toilet paper, haven't you? Hold them next to each other and make sure they're the same size. And while she's doing that, Timmy, sleep. Timmy, sleep. Sleep. Oh. Really? That's the trick that fooled you? That's what got you? Really? Gee, easy crowd. How are they doing? Are they the same size? Let's go with, yeah, they are. One of these pieces you're going to use, Maggie. One of them I'm going to use. Whichever one you would like to use, give to me, and you will use the other one. Whichever one. Just hand one to me. Very good. Now, I want you to do exactly what I do. Hold the tissue paper between your fingers, just like me. Look at my fingers. Look at the paper. Hold it just like me. Look at my fingers. Look at the paper. Hold it just like me. You look confused. You're nervous. It's okay. Let me show you. You're holding it upside down. Now, find the top. And if you find the top and make a little bitty rip, just about that far down the middle. A little bitty rip about that far down the middle, probably just like that. Good. Put one hand on one side, one on the other. Do exactly what I do. We have to do this simultaneously. We go up and down. And up and down. We go left and right. Left and right. Now shake your hand. And as quick as you can in one fluid motion, take your right hand and go right down the middle just like that when I count to 3. Now please wait till I count to 3, because if you do this before I count to 3, there's no way this trick is ever going to work. Now you saw me do it. You ready, Maggie? Here you go. 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Good. Perfect. You followed directions real good. Take the 2 pieces, put them on top of each other like this, get them nice and lined up, and just overhand rip them like that. Rip, 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 rip. And then wad the tissue paper, the toilet paper, into a little bitty toilet paper ball. You got it like that? Good. Now take your right hand, reach in your pocket, grab a hold of your magic wand, hold your magic wand up nice and high, just like that. You don't have a magic wand? Hold the magic wand up just like that. invisible ones aren't here. Now, even though we have no idea where this toilet paper's been, we're going to take the toilet paper together and put it in our mouth. I am going to take one. This time, I will take one. I will say, Erica, take the whole thing out of your mouth. Open it up and discover it is back in one piece. Uh-oh. That's not good. Tomorrow. Put it back in. Don't put it. Go. Put it on and tap it on the head and say, Erica. Actually, ow! Get a hold of this, just like that, shake that, and go back to your seat. Everybody give Maggie a very big round of applause. Thank you, Maggie. Lord. Oh, that was a lot of fun. She put the toilet paper right in her mouth. I can't believe that happened. Would you guys like to see a card trick? Tough, we're gonna do a rope trick. My show, what are you gonna do? My mommy says I'm special. It's a very old rope trick. I've been doing this since I was a small child. I was a very talented little boy, and it's true, my mommy says I'm special. Uses 3 different lengths of rope. A very long piece of rope. Sir, if you would please examine that, make sure it's completely okay. A short piece of rope. So, okay, very good. You got it? Here you go. A very medium piece of rope. Back there, someone catch it. And then over here, I have a ring. Would you hang on to that for me? Make sure it's okay. Nothing weird about that. Let's collect the ropes here very carefully. We have a short piece right here. Is there anything weird about the short piece? Grab a hold, pull. And it doesn't stretch, it doesn't move. The short piece goes right here. Anything weird about the long piece, sir? No, okay. You had to phone a friend on that, it's all right. Who has the medium piece? Throw it up here, go for distance. Come on, let's see what you can do. Let's see that arm. Way to go. Yeah, looks like you play for the Colts. That's all right. Like they don't deserve that, really. Look, if we get the ends even, then they pretty much are. You can see a significant difference in the lengths of rope. Big difference, yes? Everybody raise the roof. Hey! Crowd over here, come on, the roof is on fire. So either this section can do it with us or you can do it alone. It's up to you, really. We're going to try to create an illusion. An illusion is any time something could be happening, but it's not. Like a magician making 3 different lengths of rope appear to be the same. It's an illusion because it could be happening, but it's not. Like when a magician cuts a woman in half. It's an illusion. You see, it could be happening, but it's not. Or like the audience laughing at my jokes. Could be happening. Not so much. We're going to take the long end next to the medium end, both of those next to the short end. We now have 3 loops, a small loop, a medium-sized loop, and el grande lupo. That's Spanish. El grande lupo. Yes, I speak Spanish. Mi mamá dice que soy especial. I said that right, didn't I? Okay. If we wanted to, we could take this and very gently create the illusion that the 3 ropes are going to morph and stretch and morph until we have 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope that appear to be exactly the same. That's 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope, and the crowd goes wild. Okay. I'm getting the impression that some of you are a bit underwhelmed, so let's make this easy. Let's do this next one with just 2 pieces of rope. But again, let's just use 1 piece of rope. With 1 piece of rope, it's going to be much easier. When you have 1 piece of rope, you have 2 ends and a middle. That's the definition of a piece of rope. 2 ends and a middle. I don't have any scissors, but if I did, I could cut them and have 2 pieces of rope, which is 4 ends and 2 middles. But we're not talking about 2 pieces of rope. We're talking about 1 piece of rope. With 1 piece of rope, it's really all about keeping your eye on the ends. You folks, do me a favor. You folks keep your eye on that end, and I will keep my eye on that end. You keep your eye on that end, I'll keep my eye on that end. That way we're dealing with 1 piece of rope. Everybody with me? Okay, good. Let's see if we can do this. We're going to see if we can do it in slow motion. The ends, let's see if we can make the ends move. There we go, just like that. What do you think? Whatever, shut up. All right. You want to be very careful with the ends. Keep your eye on the ends. No matter what happens, do not lose sight of the ends. That's bad. Because when that happens, we have a problem now, because now I have a loop of rope that has no middle and no end, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. The lady who doesn't like magic, just say stop whenever you want to. Okay, I have an extra set of ends right here I can just plug on like that. Now, this is not used by magnets. Oh, no, no. This is used by static electricity. See, hang on. Okay, there we go. See, static electricity, they go together just like that. But a professional is always prepared with an extra set of ends, and I have an extra set of ends here. The most difficult part, of course, is finding exactly where to plug them back on. You with me? You're giving me that weird look. Okay, you folks over here, if the ends ever come off of the rope like that, you just have to find exactly the right place to plug them back on like that. You with me? They're not. Over here, guys, if the ends ever come off of the rope, ooh, gross, ooh, you can take them and throw them back on like that. Now, we've discussed the ends. I think it's time we discuss the middle. The middle is equally important. Keep your eye on the middle. Don't let the middle wander away, or you have a situation. You have two ends, and I don't even know what this is, but the middle really should kind of stay in the middle, because that's what makes it the middle. Now, I'm going to do a little loop here. We're going to tie this into a loop. Someone was holding my ring for me. Who was holding my ring? Is there anything strange about the ring? Okay, bring it on up. You don't have to come up on stage. Just kind of hand it to me. There's no way I can see that in the light to catch it. Perfect. I'm going to do the next bit of magic by placing the ring on the rope. Yes, the ring will go on the rope. Watch closely as the ring goes on the rope. It's a preposition joke. What do you think? It was actually going to go on the rope? Is that what you thought? Oh, hey, that's kind of cool. Look at that. All right, I'm going to do it. We'll do it again. We'll make sure everybody can follow this time. The ring comes off of the rope like this. Now, if I were an athlete, clearly I'm not, I could take the ring and throw it, and it would go on like that. The problem here is the only way to free the ring from the rope is to untie the knot and then free it gently. But what you can't do is don't let the ends pop like that. Put them back on. DVDs for sale in the back. All right, we're going to make this easy. We did not start with one piece of rope, did we, gang? What did we start with? Three. 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope that appear to be the same, but they are not. Remember, this is the long piece. This is the short piece. This is the medium piece. And I can see you're a little incredulous, so everybody pay attention. 1, 2, 3, a very long piece of rope, a very short piece of rope, and a very medium piece of rope. That's the end of my rope. Thank you very much. All right, for this next bit of I would like to tell you folks a little bit of a story. This is a very interesting story that's mostly true. Well, except for the parts that I made up. The scene takes place in a little cabaret in Paris in 1895, a little place called the Moulin Rouge. A young French magician performed for the very first time, a very interesting magic effect that had never before been seen in the world. It was a very simple effect, as all magic is. The simpler, the better. It used very common items. What he did was he used a little glass of sarsaparilla, let's call it, and an empty glass, the bottle and the glass set on the table. He covered them with tubes. He said the magic words, and they instantly changed places. And this was a miracle. This fooled the tarnation out of these people in Paris in 1895. It did. He did it so well that it caught on. It went all across Europe, across the Atlantic, over to America. Every magician was doing their version of what he called the passe bottles. It was overdone so much that some people started to figure out how it worked. And by about 1910, the passe bottles had themselves become passe. Well, along came a gentleman from Columbus, Ohio. General Grant is his stage name. U.F. Grant is what he went by legally. He was an inventor. He invented something called phantom tubes. That's what these are, phantom tubes. It's a mechanical tube that you can show as empty, put your hand through, and then you can remove a bouquet of flowers for a lovely lady. You can take silk from the Orient, even a live dove. Well, every magician had to have these. It's like having a hammer if you're a carpenter. So that all went well, but about 1922, someone had the idea to incorporate the phantom tubes with the passe bottle, and a miracle was born. Everyone in vaudeville was doing their version of the passe bottles. The Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello. No one was not able to incorporate it in their act. You've heard enough about it. These are genuine phantom tubes from 1914, and they still work occasionally, like me. So here we go. Would you like to see it? Here we go. The passe bottle. You start by taking... That was supposed to be empty. Okay, you know what? We are all friends. We're just going to pretend like that never happened. Okay. We take the phantom tubes, we place them over the glass, respectively, in the bottle. We say the magic words, passe, passe. And of course, all right, if you're paying attention, you will now notice the glass is slightly closer to the bottle. All right, we're going to do it again. Okay. We cover them with the phantom tubes. We say the magic words, passe, passe. And we look, yes, it happened. The glass has moved to here. The bottle has moved to here. Now the hard part, making them go back. Passe, passe. And look, they return to their original position. All right. The problem is the setup. This is very important. You have to make sure the glass is exactly the same distance from the bottle that the bottle is from the glass. You know what, though? These are phantom tubes. This should work much easier. This should be much easier if we do it. We should just be able to do it like that. It should just actually happen like that. That's what it should work. We just take it and go passe, passe, and boom. They work just like that. Once again, this tube completely empty. Okay, we don't need that one. Don't worry about that. We say, passe, passe, they move. It's just like that. Once again, passe, passe, the glass and the bottle instantly change places, and it's, okay, don't worry about that. We don't even need that. Now, there's actually a way you can do this with one tube. You place the tube over the glass becomes the bottle. You place the tube over the bottle becomes the glass. Passe, passe. We don't need that one, that's all right. Once again, the tube goes over the glass becomes the bottle, goes over the bottle becomes the glass, passe, passe. We don't need that one, that's okay, don't worry about it. Now, there was one fellow that decided to do his act a little bit differently. He started doing the passe, passe bottles with 2 bottles and no glasses. And it got pretty much the same reaction I got tonight. Of course, the problem with that is not only do you need to travel with that, you also have to travel with 2 extra bottles, which is kind of a problem. Then a fella started doing it with 2 glasses and no bottles, which may seem a little bit more elegant, but it makes it twice as complicated because now you have to travel with 2 glasses and 2 extra bottles, and that's not going to work at all. So, let's see. Thank you. All right. Let's see if we can try a little experiment here. We're going to try this, and let's see if this is going to work. We are going to pour ourselves a little glass of sarsaparilla. Guys, what is sarsaparilla in English today? Yeah, let's go with root beer. Let's go with that, okay. So here we go, folks. The big one here. The tube goes over the glass of sarsaparilla, becomes the bottle, goes over the bottle, becomes the half-drinking glass of sarsaparilla. That is the magic of passe, passe bottle. Of course, so if you're going to do it, you're probably going to need an extra bottle. That's probably what's going to happen. Thank you. Excellent. You have been such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. On behalf of everybody in the cast here, I'd like to say supporting live entertainment is something that really is close to us, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you giving up your time, and for some of you, your money, to come and see us. If you enjoyed this portion of the show, my name is Rusty Yammerman. If you didn't, it's John Bon Jovi. See you soon, everybody. So long. Bye.
Another show draws to a close. Another year. No, I screwed that up. Let me try it over. Another year, another show, another lesson, but now it's time to go. Another show draws to its end, and thank you all for joining in. Remember, it's you we do this for, and with your help, we'll do it 5 years more. Thank you all for attending our quinquennial conviviality, and on behalf of myself, Imagine Performing Arts, and all the people of Connorsville, Rushville, Richmond, and everywhere else people said no talent could be found, I say thank you. And join us next year for Barkley Bigelow's Hullabaloo Revue 6! Now please give one last round of applause for all of our amazing acts!